Hello everyone, my name is Carlie Hamilton and this is a scrapbook process video for you guys. This is a part of my Japan album and I really want to use that Prima Printables piece of paper up, but I stare at it and I don't know, I just feel like I can't use it just yet. Not that I'm hoarding it for any reason, I just felt like it didn't really go with what I wanted to do with this page. And also, I was too lazy to get out any kind of paints and water and paintbrushes and stuff. So I immediately put that to the side and decide on another piece of paper to use on this layout. Now I go through all the papers I've selected and I find I'm using this orange cardstock here for the mat. There's a hint of orange in the photo, so I decide to use that. And I just slice up a really thin mat for the photo. I have some other papers that I've pulled out as well to go with it, and I just start chopping. I'm not really sure what on earth I want to do for this layout. So yeah, I just start chopping. As you can see, I'm sort of thinking about it. This photo is a photo I took while I was in Tokyo, and I believe it was in Harajuku. So it's a photo of a sign, like a street banner, and it's got a bit of English on it. So me being a languages fan, I took a photo of it. But my plans for this page, as I was flicking through my album with the photos I've got printed out, I actually lost a whole heap of my photos of Tokyo. My memories card was corrupt. So I don't have very many photos at all of my time in Tokyo. So for this layout, I'm planning to talk about another thing that happened to me while I was in Tokyo that's like sort of completely separate from the picture. But because this is only one like little picture, I wanted to stick this on a 12 by 12 page by itself, but I also wanted to talk about several different things on the page. So I've just chopped out some of my paper that I've got there, and I've inked the edges with my little ink, and now I'm just going to stick them down. Once everything is stuck down, I am going to start embellishing. I do use just a roll of double-sided tape for my to stick everything down. I've found that for me is the cheapest way that it's the cheapest adhesive that I've found. I know a lot of people have like the ATG gun, but I'm not really sure where you can get refills for that in Australia cheaply. So the double-sided tape is working for me at the moment. I can get them really cheap, so I'm happy. Now I am going to start embellishing. So to my left of me there, I have a pink basket, and that's what I call my embellishment center. And it just has a whole heap of embellishments that I've picked out specifically to go for this album. I want to use some frames on this page. I'm going through a little baggie there that is filled with a couple of frames, maybe a bit more than a couple. But I wanted to use frames on the previous page I made and it didn't happen. So this time I am determined to use some frames on this page. And I had the idea that maybe I could use them to frame my journaling. So that's what I end up doing as well. I also have pulled out like a little bit of a Project Life card. It's got like a little grid on it, and for some reason I kept that scrap. So that's one of the things I pulled out of my little stash there. I also pull out like a little flare that's got like a little cityscape sort of outline. I've got some chipboard shapes. I have some vellum. I'm just going through all my like sticker sheets, and I'm pulling out a whole heap of sticker sheets that either have colors or themes that might work on this page. And once I've pulled out a whole heap of stuff, I stick it to the side there, and I'm going to sort of go through it and work out what I want to use. So the first thing I do go for is the frames, of course, because as I said, I really want to use a frame on this page. And the thing I love about frames is you can sort of overlap it with things and I think that looks really cool. Sometimes in my videos I cut out this process of me thinking. But in this case I've kept it in the video so you can sort of see what my thought process is. For instance, I picked up that it's like a chipboard sticker sheet full of wood grain looking things, and I think and I just can't decide what I want to do with it. So instead I really liked where the frame was, so I just decided to commit to it. And again, with this little Project Life bit there, I stick it in and I decide I really want to just put it on a page. So I put some adhesive on it and I move it around a bit and then I just stick it down. And that feels satisfying to me. It feels like I'm getting something done. A lot of these stickers here, I want to use them, but they're not quite the right colors. So I put them, once I've decided they're a nay, I stick them back in my embellishment center. There's the other frame, and I am going to stick it down there. And I quite like that because I'm using up 2 frames, which is yay, and the other, it's because I am going to be talking about 2 different stories. I thought 2 frames and writing my journaling in them would be perfect. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. As you can see, I'm obviously still undecided at this point in time. So another thing that I have a lot of at the moment is my wood veneer. So I pull out a little box I have of the wood veneer, hoping that I will be able to use some on the page. But in the end, I didn't really have anything that sort of grabbed my attention that I wanted to use. I know that in some process videos, people at the start, they show you the supplies that they're gathered, and it feels like to me like they already have this firm idea in their head of how their layout is going to end up. But for me, a lot of it is pulling things out and giving them a try and deciding yay or nay, and sticking them back. But so that I don't prolong the process too much, I do commit to sticking things down quite early, even when I'm not 100% sure what the hell I'm doing. I just stick things down. Now I have these stickers and I'm going to be using them for my titles. So my top little journaling frame there is going to be about my encounter with swine flu, and the bottom down there is, I'm going to title that Harajuku. Now this was in 2009, and it was right at the height of the swine flu epidemic, if you remember that. And it is a huge issue in Japan as well, because it's a small country, but with a lot of people in those areas. So because you're all confined in with each other, it is like a bigger concern than perhaps it might have been in other countries. I don't know. It was never really a big concern in Australia, but we were an isolated sort of, even though we're huge, we're an isolated country and our population is spread out quite a bit. I've just gotten out my journal there that I kept at the time, and just using that as a sort of a reference for what was happening, especially for my swine flu incident, which was basically the person I ended up sitting next to on the plane over was my roommate in the Tokyo hotel. We shared a room, and then she was diagnosed with swine flu, and I was suffering with headaches and feeling yucky, but I think I was just being really tired because you know, it's a long flight and I barely slept on the way over, and lots of exciting things happening and not much sleep happening. So I think that's what my headaches were, because I went to the doctors and I was cleared of having the swine flu. I didn't have it. So that was lucky. The good outcome of that was that I got my own room in Tokyo. So that was pretty cool. I didn't have to share. And for the journaling I did down the bottom, I just talked about how I was exploring Harajuku, and I just had to take a photo of this picture because of the English in it. So I put down those asterisks from my Freckle Fawn kit on the bottom of that frame, that top frame. And I also stick down a little sticker that just says memories. It feels good getting random stickers like that on the page rather. But I end up taking off those asterisks back off again because they just weren't quite the right color yellow. They were a bit too bright, whereas the yellow on the page I felt was a bit dirtier. And I ended up sticking down some more of these like little chevron arrow thingies to match them on the bottom of the page that I put them on the bottom of my photo. And the reason I put those ones originally on my photo as well was because down the bottom it was raining, and down the bottom is this bright purple umbrella that just does not go with like the color on my page at all, and I found it was sort of sticking out a bit, so I stuck those stickers on, and maybe that you could say that's drawing attention to the bright purple thing, but I think it sort of distracts from it. It hides it. It brings a bit of the green and yellow color down into that bottom corner and sort of disguises it a bit. Now I'm using my beloved little letter word tile stickers down there, and what they say is explore every little thing. So I thought that was fitting for this page. Now I tried to use some of that bling up, but it just didn't seem to go with the page. So instead I bring out these Heidi Swap sequin rub-ons, and this is a product that I want to use up ASAP because I'm not really in love with it. I love sequins, don't love the rub-ons. I originally just pull out the whole sheet to try and make it as fuss-free as possible to get them down, but it wasn't working well for me, so I cut out the yellow section that I was using, and I make it my mission to use up every single sequin that's on that little sheet there. And perhaps it's sequin rub-on overload, but I don't care. I got the product used up, so here I am just rubbing them all over the page. And once I'm done with that, it's pretty much now just my final touches that I'm putting on the page. So I just finish up that little sheet there, and after that I go through what's left on my desk that I haven't put back into my embellishment center yet. There's only a couple more things, but I don't think I decide to put anything more on the page. I think I call this one done. Yep, I put it all back in and I'm calling it done. So that is this layout. I hope you've enjoyed this layout and it's given you some ideas, and maybe not to be afraid of journaling about things that have nothing to do with the photo and things like that. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye!